I'm John Hannes, and this is your Virtual Convention Minute. Now more than ever, our organization is motivated to adapt and explore innovative ways to connect, which is why we planned a fantastic program for the entire family of Rotary to enjoy. From general and breakout sessions to a virtual house of friendship and entertainment, this will be an event you can look forward to and one you will not want to miss. Therefore, I want to see how you're adapting and participating in the virtual convention. Are you at home? Maybe you're watching with your family or streaming with your club over Zoom. Whatever the case may be, I encourage you to take a selfie and share your experience on social media using hashtag Rotary20. You can also post it to our Facebook event page to connect with other attendees. And don't forget, the virtual convention is open and free to all members and participants of Rotary, so be sure to share the convention with your club and community. Visit raconvention.org to see what this year's program has to offer. I'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to Now More Than Ever, Rotary Connects the World, Rotary's first ever virtual convention. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to connecting with the family of Rotary in today's exciting general session, featuring host of the Convention Minute and Rotarian, John Hannes. President of Rotary International, Mark Daniel Maloney. Chair of the 2020 Rotary International Convention Committee, Celia Elena Cruz de GI. Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres. Emmy-winning journalist, Alicia Davis. Pop opera quartet, Aria. Trustee Chair-elect of the Rotary Foundation, K.R. Ravindran. President of Global Development at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Dr. Christopher Elias. Director of the Center for Global Health at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Rebecca Martin, Ph.D. Senior Advisor to the Director General at the World Health Organization, Dr. Bruce Aylward. Executive Director of UNICEF, Henrietta H. Fore. President of the Rotary Social Impact Network, Rebecca Fry. Trustee Chair of the Rotary Foundation, Gary C.K. Huang. And our host, news anchor and Rotarian, Mark Wright.
During this emergency, the 13 Italian Rotary districts, including more than 900 clubs, responded to the crisis with a coordinated strategy, focusing on disease prevention. With the Rotary Italia project, Prevention to Defeat the COVID-19 Pandemic, worth €1,300,000, we want to offer to 28 hospitals in Italy, which are directly involved in the fight against COVID-19, an innovative technology package to minimize the risk of infection of healthcare workers and interrupt the virus transmission. The project aims at equipping each hospital with 2 thermoscanners to instantly detect the presence of fever, a COVID triage unit, an isolated cabin where it's possible to safely perform triage, and a stretcher for transporting the infected patient by protecting the healthcare staff from exposure to the infection. The project aims at responding to the most urgent needs while providing tools that could help healthcare facilities in the long term as well, in the event of another spike in infections or for future research and development. Rotary connects the world, says our motto this year. With this project, we want to allow the world to be able to safely reconnect again in the next future. Together, we can bring positive change to our communities. Together, we can save lives.
Hi, I'm Mark Wright, past president of the Rotary Club of Seattle and a television news anchor here in the United States. The COVID-19 global pandemic has changed the way members around the world are meeting, and this year's convention is no exception. For the first time, our entire program has moved online. I'm proud to host, now more than ever, Rotary Connects the World, the 2020 Rotary Virtual Convention. And it is my great honor to introduce a member of our own leadership who's been crucial in guiding us through this unprecedented time. From the Rotary Club of Decatur, Alabama, USA, President of Rotary International, Mark Daniel Maloney.
Aloha, Rotarians, Rotaractors, and members and guests of the family of Rotary. Welcome and thank you for attending the first ever Rotary Virtual Convention. Although we had intended to live stream convention events from Honolulu, never in our wildest dreams did we anticipate that our entire convention would be only online. But as has often been said, necessity is the mother of invention. And I hope you enjoy this unique convention experience. As we continue to cope with the COVID-19 crisis, the world needs our optimism. The world needs our leadership. The world needs our compassion. And most of all, the world needs our connections. This convention will prove once more how Rotary connects the world. And now, let us celebrate Rotary's global reach with a tribute to the flag that unites us all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give your warmest welcome to the one flag that unites us all, the flag of Rotary International.
This is our paradise, the place we call home, where we find inspiration, form connections, and share the aloha spirit that motivates us to make a real difference. We are Rotary. We are people of action. And together we find solutions to real problems, like making our environment safe, or transforming houses into homes, creating even more beautiful horizons for our families, our neighbors, and ourselves. In Hawaii and around the world, take action with us. Find out more at rotaryinhawaii.org.
I know we were all looking forward to experience the Aloha spirit in Honolulu. That video was a great reminder that we can still be people of action in our communities, no matter where we are. I'd like to introduce a special person of action and one who has taken the Aloha spirit to heart. Please welcome from the Rotary Club of RCSPS, Buenos Aires, Argentina, the chair of the 2020 Rotary International Convention Committee, Celia Elena Cruz de Gi.
Aloha, Rotary! Welcome to the 2020 Rotary International Virtual Convention. As chairwoman of the convention committee, I am honored to welcome Rotarians, Rotaractors, and friends from all over the world to this historic international meeting. Thank you for being here and for showing that Rotary connects the world more than ever under the leadership of President Mark Daniel Maloney. 2 years ago, President Mark asked me to lead the 2020 Convention Committee. I want to thank those of you who registered and were planning to join us in this convention in the beautiful city of Honolulu, Hawaii, as well as everyone who helped plan this event. I would like to especially thank President Mark and Gay for the wonderful leadership that they have displayed during such trying times. I am proud to be a Rotarian and to serve with all of you. This has certainly been an exceptional year for Rotary, especially as we face the COVID-19 pandemic. My friends, over the next 2 days, we will share stories of how Rotary has responded to numerous challenges. You will learn how your clubs can help and what this means for Rotary now and Rotary in the future. As we look to the future, we must also honor our past. We helped in the creation of the United Nations 75 years ago and have supported each other through history. I am delighted to share with you a short video that narrates our working relation. Enjoy the video and enjoy this historic first Rotary International Virtual Convention 2020. Mahalo. Thank you.
(1944). Around the globe, nations stared in horror at the devastation of a Second World War. But even as the battles raged, global leaders planned for a new era and a post-war organization for peace. Rotary International, long committed to global cooperation and peace, had been raising awareness of a united nations, publishing articles and pamphlets to encourage the discussion. Finally, in June of 1945, the eyes of the world were on San Francisco as delegates from 50 countries gathered to sign the UN Charter.
The Conference of the United Nations on International Organization is now convened.
Even as they gathered, delegates read the headlines proclaiming the end of the war in Europe. At the invitation of the U.S. Secretary of State, Rotary International sent 11 Rotarians to serve as consultants to the delegation from the United States. These included 2 past Rotary presidents, Alan Albert and Tom Davis. In fact, there were Rotarians and honorary members from around the globe, some as official delegates for their nations and others as consultants. Ezequiel Padilla served as chair of the delegation from Mexico. Rotarian Carlos Romulo represented the Philippines and would later serve as president of the 4th session of the UN General Assembly.
The Charter of the United Nations is a solid structure upon which we can build for a better world. History will honor you forever.
There was a triumphant ceremony as representatives signed the charter for their nations. Joseph Salem from Lebanon was just one of the Rotarians who signed the charter on behalf of their countries. U.S. Secretary of State E.R. Stettinius was a signatory for the United States. He later described the invitation to Rotary International as a recognition of the practical part Rotary's members have played and will continue to play in the development of understanding among nations. Rotary's participation in the UN Charter Conference was just the beginning of a humanitarian-focused collaboration that continues. Today, With a vision they have shared since the beginning, the United Nations and Rotary serve as examples of global cooperation as they lead efforts to promote peace, development, and world health.
It brings me great pride to know that Rotary members were there at the very start of the United Nations, but even more to know that we continue to collaborate in order to build a better world. It's my honor to introduce UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres with a special message celebrating our shared commitment.
I am pleased to greet this 2020 Rotary Virtual Convention. Thank you for coming together in this unique way at this unique time. You have asked that I deliver my message in Portuguese, and I'm happy to do so.
I would like to start by congratulating you on the theme of this convention. Now more than ever, Rotary connects the world. Since the chartering of the United Nations precisely 75 years ago, we have worked closely to bring people together and find solutions to their problems. Your efforts have made a significant difference in eradicating polio and strengthening communities around the globe, in alleviating the suffering of vulnerable populations, and in building a safer, healthier, and more peaceful world. Today, we face a challenge of enormous proportions: a global pandemic, the most severe economic crisis for generations, and an acute climate crisis. On all these fronts, the most vulnerable are those facing the greatest risk. Now more than ever, we need to work together to find solutions to the weaknesses of our societies by reducing inequalities, supporting and strengthening the resilience of communities, and charting a path to a better world through the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you once again for your efforts, leadership, and partnership. United Nations is with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary General Guterres. Rotary appreciates its relationship with the United Nations and celebrates our shared history over the past 75 years. Recently, many communities have faced a lingering challenge that goes right to the heart of values Rotary holds dear: fellowship, integrity, leadership, service, and diversity. These core values are the bedrock of our organization. Celebrating the full diversity of humanity is our strength. However, Rotary cannot stand by when our values are challenged. Racism and ethnic prejudice rip the social fabric, and animosity threatens the safety, well-being, and lives of our fellow human beings. Positive change in the world will not come quickly or easily, but it must come. The family of Rotary is stronger when our clubs, our members, our leaders at all levels, and all participants reflect the communities where we live. Even as we celebrate our ideals and the strength of our diversity, we know we can do better. We must become better listeners and more open-minded learners. Rotary's leadership is taking a serious look at how we can collectively take action, how we can support clubs in taking action, and how we can help address injustices worldwide. I urge all of us, every Rotary and Rotaract club, to hold a mirror to ourselves and ask if our membership and club experience reflects the diversity of our communities. Our organization must do the same, and wherever we come up short, we must be willing to correct our course and face the challenge without fear or hesitation. We will become better agents of change as we implement our Rotary Action Plan and expand our reach to fully represent our communities and ensure that all people who engage with us have experiences that show that we value, respect, and embrace them. It is time for Rotary to take our decades of expertise in building peace across the globe and apply it to the communities where we live. Rotary's commitment to service above self extends across the globe and into our own neighborhoods. Let us rise to this moment.
Hi, I'm Alicia Davis, a television journalist based in New York, a city hit hard by COVID-19. That's why I'm so inspired by the Rotarians around the world who are working to help each and every community affected by this pandemic. Every mask sewn, meal delivered, and dollar raised adds up to real global impact. Now, more than ever, Rotary members are people of action. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, we're in San Francisco, Chinatown.
Kisumu, Kenya.
Lisbon, Portugal. Bay St. Louis, Mississippi.
San Diego, United States.
I'm Sadako Park, Setagayaku, Tokyo, Japan.
Almere in the Netherlands.
Tegucigalpa, Honduras.
Meaux, France.
Hello, namaste, Dr. Prakash Paudel of Nepal National Hospital.
Bucharest, Romania.
Professor Dr. Farhan Isa Abdullah, I'm Pakistan.
Julia Koch and I'm from Milano, Italy.
We have started a hotline service through telephone regarding COVID cases.
So far, we help with more than 150 charities and hospitals. We also distribute more than 5 tons of food.
My club has given 52,000 tulips to thank our local healthcare professionals and gave a boost to their work and dedication.
So far, we have produced 10,000 face masks, 10 hand washing stations, and distributed to our local communities.
I'm helping with the food pantry, and we're also giving away these Rotary masks.
We are handing out masks to the homeless. We're also giving them boxed meals and bottles of water.
Medical facial masks, protective clothing kits, and goggles.
We partnered with our Rotary Exchange student to create Rotary Interactive Quarantine. Hundreds of students from more than 60 countries have met every 2 weeks to share their stories.
It provided our first-line personnel with personal protection equipment.
Also managed to buy meals and food for 2,000 elders in our community.
Redirected funds so that food insecure families and individuals' needs are met.
Provided food rations for families to survive for a month at least.
They have donated to 28 Italian hospitals a new technology aiming at breaking the infection chain in the hospital.
Being also able to mobilize communities, training them in personal care, and by providing them food items and things of the like.
We gave 40 tablets for sick people to keep in touch with their family via video. We help unemployed people to see opportunities and find new jobs.
This is Rotary connecting the world, saving lives, and this is Rotary in action.
I was lucky enough to talk to a few members to find out more about the situation in their regions. Here are some highlights from my conversations with Rotarians around the world. What has the pandemic been like there?
Here we have a lot of people that do not have water yet. And now we have hit by this virus, where a lot of people don't even have how to buy the cheapest medicine required, or they don't have even to prevent their immune system, or even vitamin C, or even a plate to put on the table.
You have people dying in the intense therapy department. They were not delivered to the family, but they were sent immediately to the crematorium.
We have open air markets for publics to go to. So we talked to our village elders and said that people cannot afford hand sanitizers, but there is water available. And we said that we could be able to provide hand washing stations for people to wash their hands.
Our medical system has not been overloaded. So that's the great news. But one of the big things that we've noticed is the lack of food and the help that's needed in food pantries.
Tell us about your project and the impact it's having.
It was an immediate need to help our health personnel, our first line health personnel especially, with protective gears.
We decided to go with 13 districts and almost 900 clubs all together to offer a donation to 28 hospitals.
We mobilized our resources and put together local artisans or local tailors to be able to make reusable face masks.
We started with very simple rotary masks, single ply that you just kind of wrap around your ear. And we are now into phase 2 of our challenge with these newer masks.
I know many of the doctors work in the public hospitals and in the private, so the personnel goes around. So I get to see and hear those firsthand comments of these people that have been, thanks to Rotary, provided the things that they needed most.
The reaction of the hospital and especially the doctors and nurses was very, very enthusiastic. They really thought that it was something really helping them not to fear the contagion while visiting the patient.
The biggest impact that I received when I was distributing masks at the homeless encampments was an individual came up to us and said, "We need these masks so we can go into stores."
The people have been participating in production of masks. They were like, wow, we can be able to participate in a global pandemic positively, and our efforts have been recognized. For me, that has been the greatest joy, that from local community resources, people are able to contribute globally to COVID-19.
How has being a Rotarian made a difference in the way that you've responded to this crisis?
After joining Rotary, learning about polio and the 6 areas of focus, international travel, seeing other countries, being a past president and past district governor, just, you know, the fulfillment that we get in doing volunteer service. And Rotary, like I said before, we're in Rotary, we are people of action, and we need to take a leadership role and help our communities.
I have seen beyond this project a lot of clubs, I would say almost all clubs, trying to do something for the local community, for the local hospital, for the local needs.
I ask myself, if I'm sitting here and I have a means and resources, is it really fair to all concerned? So those kind of values that Rotary teaches around the world, I think they are values that change humanity in many different ways.
I'm so glad that I've been in and are very involved in Rotary. And I don't know what my life would have been without Rotary being part of our life in our family. They have really made a difference. We have changed life. We have saved lives.
Thank you to all the members who shared their personal stories about COVID-19 in their communities, and to all the Rotarians out there working to restore our world and end this pandemic. We're grateful for your commitment to see this through. Thanks again. Now back to Mark.
Like Alicia, I'm inspired by everyone around the world stepping up and taking action in the face of this global pandemic. But we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge all the members whose lives and loved ones have been impacted. Here with a musical tribute to the entire Rotary family affected by COVID-19 is Australian pop opera quartet Aria.